Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop.
Will
We
be
will
as bright
not
as
stop.
the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this?
know.
Now you cannot go,
Baby,
kid.
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing on up, coming on in the building. I know we're a little bit early. I had it for 1 o'clock, but you guys, I've got a busy day. I got to go into work a little bit early today, so we had to come on a little bit early. Like I said, we're going to do it for the whole month, and that's all we're going to do. Miss Dee Dee, thank you for showing up. She was first one in the chat. Lisa Taylor, C6 Banks is in the building. Lisa Taylor be on it, girl. You be on it. Freddie Johnson's in the house. She ain't in the dark no more, you guys. She in the house. And then we got Selena Monroe. Did I miss anything? We just getting started. We just came on. Dang, that's sad. What is it, Patricia Williams? What is it? What is it? What is it? Selena Monroe, what's going on? How you doing? Awesome Paulson. Okay, we got ESK Man in the building. Thank you for showing up. Phyllis D. Hart is in the building. I know Sonia Watts got to be in here. She got to be in here. Melinda Pear. How you doing? Carla Henry is in the building. Thank you, Carla, for showing on up. That's roll call, you guys. I thought I seen Sanja Watts. I don't know. Ella. I thought I seen her come in here. I thought, did I not see her? Oh, Lord. Maybe I didn't see her come in here. Okay, maybe I didn't. Anyway, you guys, what's going on? You guys, the thumbnail tells it all right there, but we're going to get into a little bit deeper than just the thumbnail. Sometimes I don't even have words to express. SP, good day to you. Good day to you too. Good day to you too. You guys, we're going to talk about the Naziah Harris case. That's all we're going to talk about. I mean, there's another case out there that I really wanted to touch in because the girl is missing. Her name is London, but they know who took London, the boy that she met when the girl dropped her off at that house. They know. So, and I think that's in Detroit too. So, if we switch it up a little bit, I'll let you guys know. But for right now, we're just going to get into Naziah Harris case. And if anybody, I do read the comments, you guys. If you send me a text message and I call you, some people they people's been calling and letting me know, what they know and what they don't know and things of that nature. Getting close, getting to talk to a couple of people is what it's all about. I did tell you guys that they did search in Ypsilanti. They're trying to get me to say the name of the township, and it's Ypsilanti. Just say it like that, SP. They say just say it like that. You tearing up some stuff. I will tear up some stuff trying to pronounce a word I've never seen before. But anyway, the little lake or little pond that they fish in and everything, it was Frog Island. So some people ask me what little lake down there that they searched, and I had to ask the people that live around in that area what it was called. But I knew that they had searched, and that was the weirdest thing, you guys. But I'm gonna tell you guys something. Hey Felicia, how you? So somebody reached out and they sent me a little text message, and they said, and I will repeat what they said in their little text message. And I say little, not meaning I'm trying to belittle anybody. No, I'm not. It just was not enough information. So they said that they believe that when Naziah fell on the floor, she was going into labor. She was like 4 or 5 months pregnant. Now, I'm not saying you can't go into labor, because you can go into labor at any given time. But I don't believe that's the case. Hey, Tina, how you doing? I don't believe that's the case, because at the end of the day, water would have been all over the place, and she wouldn't have been just sitting somewhere in somebody's car and vehicle and all that, going to and fro to the gas station, just bouncing around in people's car. If that was the case, she was only but like 4 or 5 months. She wasn't like no 8, 9, 10 months pregnant. She was like 4. Remember, back in September, she went to the doctor or the hospital, and I guess they found out she was not pregnant. Remember, you guys? I'm just going off of the information that they've put out there. Not saying all the information that they put out there is true. We want to know, was Naziah still alive when they went to this little township called Ypsilanti? Okay? Because I'm not a firm believer. And I'm just not a firm believer. I'm not saying that they're lying or on purpose, but something is just not adding up. And so when we start going, okay, why would she lie? Well, she's the auntie of the nephew of King. She's King's child's auntie, and she don't want her nephew to have to go through a lot of rigmarole. She just don't. But the title of this segment that we're talking about today is Searching for Naziah Harris. That's what we're always going to continue to do, is search for her. But why they say she's not here? I don't like to say the word deceased. I don't like to say the word dead. I don't like to say alive, because there's really no good way to say that a person is not with us anymore. They're not with us anymore. But for the sake of the people that believe that she's here, sometimes you're just gonna have to bite the bullet. You guys, you understand what I'm saying? And when Kenya, some lady came on another content panel, and Kenya was on the panel. I think I think it was Shark something. Shank Rock. Anyway, I'm gonna give people their dues, you guys. I give people their dues, okay? Very, it was for sometimes content is good content, sometimes content is for entertainment. And don't get them mixed up. Now, his was for information that night. Not every night, but that night his was for information. And sometimes I don't know why some people are interviewing, people that really don't have anything to do with the case other than they know the girl or they live next to the girl, Nazaya, or something of that nature, But I mean, all information is good. Let's put it like that. All information is good. You might have to sift through a lot of stuff, but you can always uh, you know, eat the meat and spit out the bones. That's what you do. You guys know what you got to do. So I don't down nobody for doing what they do, because you can get something from nothing. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you throw your line out there and you don't get nothing. That's just what it is. But so this lady left me a comment, and she was like, on the comment, let me go to the comment real quick. I'm gonna just go to the comment. This is what she says, you guys. And I'm like, okay, you guys do know if you leave me a comment, I will respond. If I don't just respond, I will call you, because I want to know, why are you believing or saying what you're saying? But when a person called me from Detroit, and they say hello, and I'm like, hey, this is SP. Click. They just hang up. Click. I'm like, God dang. You text me. So I thought you wanted to talk. I really did. I wasn't live, wasn't trying to throw nobody underneath the bus. I wanted to hear what you had to say. And you're probably on here right now, but I just wanted to hear you say hello. This is what she wrote. She says hello, because we put the number out there. So if anybody want to get in touch with me, because I'm not on Facebook, you guys, I'm not on Instagram, you're not going to find me that way. So I put my number out there. So if anybody want to get in touch with me, you can. You can get in touch with me anytime you want. And if I don't answer, because I do have a job, you can always leave me a message or a phone or a number, or what you want to say. That is my number right there. That is my personal phone number. Okay? You can call me anytime. You can text me anytime. If you're looking for me, there I am. You're looking for me, here I am. I'm not hiding. You can call me. When I get tired of answering the phone, I put the phone to the side, because it's just not going to bug me all day. And sometimes, 9 times out of 10 now, I used to take it to work with me. I don't anymore. But that's my number if you want to get in touch with me. Anybody. But, don't leave me a message and then get mad because I want to hear what you got to say. You had something on your mind. You wrote down my number. So evidently, you had something that you really wanted to get off your chest. And I know some people think, oh, you're going to throw me underneath the bus. I talked to a young lady the other day in that area, and she said, don't throw me under the bus like Nay. There's Sanjay. There she is. Lisa Taylor said, hey. And I said, no, I wouldn't do that. First of all, I respect, when I hear your voice and you're a young lady or something, you're a young lady, you know. I do respect you as whatever, young, old, whatever, but I just know you finna. We're gonna go rounds. I know you're gonna tell me what you want to tell me and not what I want to know, and this, that, and the other. But an older woman, she's gonna have kids. She's gonna have grandkids. When older women, we're supposed to let the women talk, and say what they need to say. You guys understand what I'm saying? Like older women supposed to do. If your kids act up and another woman come to you and say, Billy was throwing rocks at my car, you don't sit there and start hollering at the woman talking about what the heck you coming over here for, and then you go get Billy and you whoop his tail, or you asked her, did you whoop Billy's tail? Because you know what I'm saying? Billy don't need to be doing that. And so, like I said, you guys, I told you guys this. Everybody in Nazia's family, and you guys know it, they failed her. Wasn't nobody looking for this little girl. There was no urgency, no emergency, and they had the guts to say she never done this before. She never done this before. She's always done what she's supposed to do. She never done this before. But all of a sudden, boom. I remember back in the day when I was young and I spent the night out with a little boy. I really don't think my family came and looked for me either. And your mama and the women, the older women, they say, oh, she done got hot in the tail. She hot. Like a dog. She in heat. She smelling her tail. But at a time, it's not called rebel that a girl rebels, but, she wants to spend time with someone that she cares for or care about. And time may slip by. She's not trying to make mother mad or mom mad or grandma mad, auntie mad. But the rules will get broken at that time. And that's when Nazia say, hey, that's the first sign of she is ready to, she feels like she's ready to not leave the nest, but start making some decisions of her own. Okay? So no, I haven't done the Cash App. I haven't fixed it. I took the dog to the doctor today, got his rabies shots, you guys. I've got to go into work early. That is a lot. That's a task. And so, therefore, everybody be like, well, you need to be on about that money. Get that money, girl, whatever. Just put it in the super chat. Just put it in the super chat. And that way, when things get taken care of, I've got a lot of things going on right now in my life. Okay, so Nazia went missing on the 9th, and they did not look for her. Well, the school police, or whatever you want to call them, I guess they're the first ones to, try to look for her. Went to the bus, pulled a video of her on the bus, getting off the bus. They knew where she got off at. But when they asked the guy that's over the security police for the school, he was retiring the next day. So he looked around the school, looked where she got off the bus at, and they asked him, "Did you check her locker?" And he said no. So I'm like, nobody checked the locker. Nobody went and checked the gym locker. She had gym, going over these people's houses, her friends, knowing who she hangs around. For us to have so much technology, this is embarrassing. Hey Janet, how you doing? This is embarrassing that they don't have videos of her other than the bus dropping her off. That's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. Matter of fact, I believe there's probably more out there. They just going off of what people say. I'm good. Instead of, being the detectives they're supposed to be, they're going off of what the people saying. Like, say, for instance, if Nay says, I don't remember seeing him coming over to the house. So why would they search Nay's house? You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they did. I think they spoke to her. Matter of fact, one or two of the girls didn't even show up. They didn't even come in. Girl, I'm going to tell you something. They going to have to put out some, when they subpoena these people to come in. Nobody cared about this baby. I'm telling you, nobody cared about this baby. They did not start looking for this baby until February. More than a month after. They probably checked with the grandmother and they said, did she come home? And she said, nope. Have you heard anything? Nope. They talked to Shannon. Well, Shannon, did she come home? Nope. Have you talked to her? Nope. Any text messages? Nope. Marquita, same thing. The mama, lady, same thing. Then they say, well, since there's no activity, she ain't did no TikTok, we're waiting for her to do something, say something, or reach out to somebody. That's what we're waiting on. So they get the tablet from school, and so they got this man's phone number. And they're like, hey, okay. She's talking to an older man. And these girls are getting entangled with these older men. They are not looking at the little boys in school that's, eating their boogers, trying to pull the pants down so everybody can look at the butt. And they supposed to be all cool with these Air Forces on. They looking at grown men. They got cars and things of that nature. Thank you, ESK man, for the super chat. Let me give you a dance. I think, yeah, it's time for a super chat. Thank you. Let's see here. All right. Thank you, ESK man, for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And ESK man says for the cause at SP. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Danada. Okay. So why people are saying she is still alive? They're having readings, seance. They're going to these witch doctors or whatever. They're going to people that says, I'm not a witch, I'm not a this, but I'm reading the cards. Or we're gonna light some candles and we're gonna feel her energy and we're gonna rub two rocks together and two rods together. And her spirit is coming out to me. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you guys something. For them to say she's still alive, do you think your spirit can originate with somebody else? I mean, the God that we serve, do you think do you think, you know, I just sometimes, I'm not saying that not everybody, is playing with that stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't work, you guys. I'm not saying that. So don't put words in my mouth. I'm definitely not saying that. But I'm saying the ones that you seeing and they're talking about it, they ain't about it. I just don't believe that. You know why? Because that's not something that you just going to uh come out and be like, hey, such and such, because people's not gonna believe you. You're gonna look crazy. But if they can read so much and they got people thinking, well, they said that she's crying out to them and she's happy, or she's in an abandoned building, or she done had the baby by now. And so here's the thing. So number one, Jarvis is charged with murder, premeditated murder. You guys, I mean, you can't get it. No, you can't get a bigger charge than that. Premeditated murder. The only way you're going to get a bigger charge than that, you done murdered 2, 3, 4, 5 other people. Now, they ain't charged him with the death of the child because they don't know if how long afar was she. Was it, if the child is under 4 months in the woman's belly, it's not viable. You guys know that. 20 weeks and above is viable, right? So listen to the common sense that we all have. Spicy says, absolutely not. The Bible even says don't play with the readers and the psychics. Exactly. The Bible doesn't say that they not real. They don't say that. They don't say that it's because there's some of them that is. Actually, the Bible even has one that this woman was giving them all the information that they needed. So you know that some of them can be realistic in what they say. She said, I had a baby at 24 weeks. 24 weeks, Jazzy, 24 weeks. And let me repeat myself. I said a baby is not viable after 20 weeks. Okay? I mean, under 20 weeks. I'm sorry. Under 20 weeks, a baby's not viable. They're not even going to try to keep the baby. And I didn't make up the rules. I didn't make up the numbers. That's just what I remember in school. And so when we're talking about these people that's saying that she's alive and SP, I want to believe that this child is alive, you guys. I do. But one thing I've learned is, like, when you have a history of doing these cases, what do we always come up to? What do we always come up to? We just don't want to believe it. We really don't. Kenya came on, and the girl asked Kenya, she said, where's Naziah? Kenya said, that's a dumb A question. If you would have been following, she's deceased. And I'm thinking to myself, Who is this Kenya? Well, Kenya is allegedly kin to Naziah. I'm pretty sure she is. I said allegedly, and I shouldn't have, because she is. That's a fact. She's kin. Some kind of shape, form, or fashion. Somebody's mama, daddy, brother, sister got somebody pregnant, and half brother, half sister, and cousins and relatives of the second power and all this other stuff. They're kin, some kind of way. I don't know. I really don't even go off into it. They can. But Jarvis would be better off, you guys. Just think about this. Jarvis would be better off letting people know I dropped her off at the corner store, or I dropped her off at a friend's house, or at the truck stop, or to another person, or whatever. He would be better off and get that murder charge off of him quickly. Because here at the end of the day, Shauna, no, I wasn't asking you anything. At the end of the day, you got to remember, the defense is not fighting the allegations that he had a relationship with Naziah. They're not fighting that. Because it's plain. Stevie Wonder can see it. The text messages proves it right there. They're not fighting that. They're not even contesting that, you guys. But what they are contesting is that you're going to have to prove that he took her out. If he did drop her somewhere, he should just spit it out there. You would think he would, and he would. ESK, he would. I mean, that's like you're looking at 75 years and he's already 40. That's life in prison. Okay? If he was only getting charged for having a sexual relationship with a youngster, and now he's looking at more. He's looking at the other one. Let me tell you something. And they ain't charged him no more. I believe there's going to be more charges towards Jarvis. Jarvis is getting more charges. Jarvis is getting more charges. They ain't said it yet, but he's getting more charges. Shauna says she's slow. Shauna, you not slow. She said, I can't watch the live and chat. He might be waiting for sentence to disclose information. No, because I'm going to tell you why, Selena. I'm going to tell you why he's not going to tell. First of all, because regardless now if he tells or not, he's gone. There's other victims. There's witness to other victims. There's witnesses to Naziah. Why would you go and tell now? It's done. He allowed other people to jump on the bandwagon and say, me too. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna have to happen. Unless they just really want, because what good, okay, if you bake a cake and you bake the cake and somebody said they want cake, you don't have to go bake another cake. You already have cake. That's what I was trying to tell y'all, that sometimes the logic that's in people go out the window. If you've got a female that you looking at and y'all feeling each other and whatever age she is, I'm not saying I'm not saying that it was legal, but The things that was happening between that young lady, 13, and a grown man should not have been happening for years and years and years and years and years. Somebody seen something. These people start coming out because you won't say, okay, I done that. Okay, but I didn't kill her. Now it's too late to say what you did or you didn't do. If there was a way for him to get that murder charge off, he will definitely agree. Okay, let me tell you where I placed where I dropped her off at. I dropped her off to a buddy of mine's and da 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 da. We, she had the baby and da 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 da. Y'all waiting. See, we got all this technology, and and there's no more books. You're not opening up books and reading no more. But if you get on that technology and start looking up stuff and quit watching TV thinking that this is a TV show, it is not. And use common sense, that would tell you that this girl is gone. And that's why they're fighting the case. Because there's nothing he can tell you to even give you an inkling of something else, another possibility, another hypothetical situation. He can't say, oh, well, we went to this house. You can see us driving down this street. Or King will let you know where we did go. Can't do it. You know why he can't do it? Because can't do it. Can't bring up another receipt. Even if he told what car he was driving or whatever and say, well, I actually went over there in such and such town, they'll check the dirt to see if the dirt underneath the car is the dirt from that town. If they can't check the cameras. You guys, we've seen it in the Breasia case. Old dude took the baby girl to the swamps, shot her in the face, dumped her body, and nobody's seen her for about a year. She caught up in the brush. Actually, she became a skeleton. Some fishermen pulled the head of it out, thought it was a gag. Somebody just throwing something in the water or whatever. This is how y'all going to find Nasiah. Same way. It's been a whole year. It's not no body no more, you guys. I'm just telling y'all don't want to hear it. That's why when people I got her picture, I don't know what good that's going to do. Who was this case? Breasia. Breasia in Iowa. Look her up. She said, I'm never leaving my house again. Ain't no need of being scared. You better pray and keep God first. Because every time when you turn on the TV and the computer, you're seeing the world for what it is. And I know what you guys are seeing. It's sad because we can't even look for jobs in Indeed anymore either. Why you can't look for jobs on Indeed? Yeah, you can. You can look for jobs on Indeed. Indeed is still going. But I guarantee you, when you look for a job for Indeed, you're going to start getting all these other messages and this, that, and all this other stuff. And then you're going to see some sexual stuff. And you're going to see man with man and man smiling at a man. And I mean, they're promoting the worst. And our kids are seeing this stuff. She said, we can, but there is a kidnapping case going on. You know what I'm saying? You guys gonna have to. You guys gonna have to. First of all, let's see. She said, "I don't want to see that." I know you don't, but you're gonna have to pick and choose. Okay, you're gonna have to pick and choose who you're going to serve, and it's really simple. And you better go ahead and do it as soon as possible if you haven't. Yeah, they can get a hold of you. They can get a hold of your kids. They can get a hold of you. Just the craziest stuff. Like this little girl had no clue this was going to happen to her. She was in love with this man. She loved his dirty draws. She basically told him, I can't have you to myself, but you can have me to yourself. Do you even think about how I feel? You know, here's my password. Here's my Instagram. Here's my Facebook. Here's everything. Look, I'm not messing with nobody. It's just you. Always trying to prove to this man she had eyes for just him. Yeah, 13-year-old. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. And it's just true when it comes to women. And if you guys can think, and I want you guys to be honest. If you're in the chat and you want to get in touch with me, you want to leave me a message, you want me to call you back or whatever, I'm gonna put my number up there because I'm reaching for somebody that was reaching for me. There you go. That's my number. Anyway, yeah, she was looking for love. But here's the thing. We all had a crush on an older man sometime in our child teenage life. If you had a crush on an older man in your teenage life, whether you let him know or smiled every time he came around, and he probably wasn't even good looking, but I mean, for some reason you was like, ooh wee. I did. Put a 1 in the chat. I did. I can't remember his last name, but it was this older man and he was 30 something. I was like 11, 12. And every time he walked by the house, and he walked, he did not drive. He was bow-legged. And I would go to the window and just look at him and stare and make little noise so he can look and stuff. And I would whistle sometimes just so he'd be like, who is that whistling or whatever. But you're going to get attracted to an older man. Not because he's older, just because. You just attracted to him, but you don't even know why. Shauna said, I had a baby with my stepdad. Oh, my. Shauna, you're going to have to call me. That bow leg, yeah. I was like, it just looked different or whatever. So, being a teenager, being attracted to an older guy is not a crime. And it's not because you're fast. It's just natural, you guys. It's just when people want to call her fast or hot or, oh, she was this and she was that. I mean, I know what you guys were thinking. Because guess what? I'll say it. You were thinking. I'm only saying what you guys were thinking because we all thought it. Like when you read those text messages, you'd be like, man, she's using those words like you can have all this P, da 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 da. It's all yours and I want the D. And I'm like, women, I mean, there's women that talk like that, but not women where I'm from. We don't talk like that to men. We don't sit there and we just don't. But my cousin, they do. And they get a lot of action too. My girlfriend, she talks like that. She get a lot of action too. Everywhere she goes, she picks up her a man or two. Everywhere she go. And I asked my son one time, I was like, man, I know, and I'm just being honest. I was like, man, I know I look better than her, but she gets all the men. She gets all the men. Why is that? And my son said, Mom, they gotta work for you. They ain't gotta work. They know exactly what they getting. They gonna get to lay in the hay. They don't have to put in no work. They ain't gotta take her out. They ain't gotta buy her no bag or anything, buy her dinner. She let him know, hey, I'm free. And this is what Naziah seen growing up in that house. You know? And Naziah knew that she looked better than Shannon and Marquita. She looked better than all of them. She looked better than all of them. And she knew it. And they didn't like it. Was they jealous about it? Yes, they was. But people want to put Shannon there. I can't. I still can't put Shannon there. I think Shannon had something to do with all those text messages. But put her there, I don't know. You don't have my number. Here's my number right here. What do you mean you don't have my number? There's my number, Shauna. Exactly. So, we have been getting phone calls down there in Detroit. Some in that little town, Ypsilanti. Some in Ann Arbor. Some in Clinton Township. So that's why I put my number out there. Because people are watching and they can help. They can help. First of all, we got to understand what happened. Yeah, she was a beautiful girl. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. I tell you guys what. Everybody think that this is a game. It's not. It's really not. It's very, very important. This child was very important. Maybe not to that family, but she is. That's why people all over the world is wondering, how did this happen in 2025 with all this technology? How? You can call me anytime you want, Shauna. You can call me after this live if you want. I'll have some time to just chill. Like I said, I have to go to work early, so you can't. If you call me late and I don't answer, that's because I'm at work. But you can call me right after this live if that's what you want to do. Like I said, you can call me. I'll let you. I will. I'm sad because I don't think they got the information that can lead them to where Naziah is at. That's because what everybody has said. And that's why they haven't found Naziah. And mostly a lot of police work is make somebody a deal, give somebody some time, make them a deal, and they will talk. And we want this child back. We don't want to just, oh, we'll never find her. We want to know. Janet says the other ladies had low self-esteem. She said the other ladies had low self-esteem. I said, ladies, Naziah was a girl, much beautiful. That's why I do believe he loved her. Yeah, she was very pretty. I mean, sometimes, most of the time, you couldn't see it because the people that she lived with didn't take care of her. You know, you know. I mean, but she knew she was pretty. You know, she knew it. But I tell you what, that's why they say she's not here, you guys. They say she's not here because the blood that was on the hoodie, they say she's not here because there's no technology activity, no TikToks, no YouTube, no Instagram, no Facebook, no Snapchat, no chat now, no nothing. So they say. And remember, I said, so they say. Because, in time, when people can tell us what they know, you're going to hear all kind of stuff. Yeah, she was a beautiful girl. She definitely looked at, as physically, being young, and that just happens to older women, your boobs get to sagging going down north, your butt get to sagging going down north. You gotta tighten them up. You got, and then you're eating, you done had all these babies, you done stretch your stomach and all this stuff. And then when you put on some weight, you ain't got that hourglass no more. And then you see this little girl. She ain't your little girl. She got a little butt on it, just a little teacup. But she walking around flapping. She walking around flapping, twisting and a turning, twisting and a turning. What if Naziah has a fake page? What if Naziah has a fake page? Well, I don't believe that she would be that bright to continue with this. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Naziah would do that. I mean, once we really started learning about the case and how old she was and how she talked, how she texted, she is a loyal person. You can tell that. She's a loyal person. And you can tell that she has love for Jarvis. She loved Jarvis. Some people say Jarvis loved her. I don't believe Jarvis loved her. Jarvis loved the control and somebody admiring him, that he can look like he this man that got it really going on. He got the looks. See what looks will get you? It won't get your rent paid. It will get you a critter like this. That I tell people all the time. They be like, girl, when we were younger, the girls would always say, they only wanted to date light-skinned men or boys or whatever. All the girls that hung, because they want the kids to come out light-skinned with good hair. I used to hear that all the time. Good hair and pretty eyes. Good hair and pretty eyes. Y'all heard it too. You know what I prefer? I prefer dark skin. And why I prefer dark skin? I want something to look like me. That's just the bottom line. That's what I say. Hey, I just want something to look like me. Hey, I didn't see no problem with it. I didn't think it was ugly. Nobody wanted to be dark skinned. But I didn't think it was ugly. But I know the world don't like it. I know the world do not like dark skinned people. They started with TV. They wouldn't even put dark people on TV. They wouldn't even put dark people in the master's house. Those was his kids that was in that house. You guys. And that's why they got preferred. And that's why in time, we as the human race have been conditioned to degrade the dark skinned people and like light skin and want our kids to be that way. Because we know if they were light, they get treated better. I'm not lying to y'all. I'm not lying to y'all. And everybody know it. You know it too. You know it, put a one in the chat. I'm not lying. Now, you can sit there and get mad at me because I'm saying it, but I'm telling the truth. Now, you got some people now be like, well, I prefer dark men. Yeah, you might prefer, but you know that the dark will get treated worse. Period, point blank. And you didn't want your kids to go through that. So, Naziah, yeah, they learned it from the slave master, and it has been passed down in the industry for music, TV, and everything. Everything. And our kids know it, and they see it. And our kids. And Naziah seen it. So when we say, oh, he looks nice on the world spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world says that nice looking is light skinned, good hair, tall. Okay. We want to say dark and handsome. That's it. Dark and handsome. No. That's for people that's just saying, hey, I want something that looks like me. But okay, we can't say all now. We don't say all because I've ran into some men that were light-skinned that they didn't have this complex about shade or whatever. But anyway, nevertheless, Naziah was so young, she didn't understand all of that yet, you guys. So she, just like her sister, her aunties would pick this type of man, they did not care if he was a pedophile. He was light-skinned, good hair, tall, and looking at them. And they were big as a refrigerator, looked like a refrigerator. They even look like refrigerator. Y'all remember refrigerator? They used to play the football. He used to play football. They used to call him refrigerator. I think it was Refrigerator Jones or something like that. But anyway, yeah. Freddie says, my youngest granddaughter is very beautiful. She has golden eyes, white teeth, and petite. She is a pretty black girl. Yeah, but I'm just telling you the truth. You know? Yes, a refrigerator. And so when Jarvis was like, hey, they was like, yeah. And he got in there. Low self-esteem women. Low self-esteem women. And he got in there and he could do whatever he wanted to do. And he did that, you guys. He did that. But if you let's get back on track. So Jarvis would do better, you guys, if he told where Naziah was, or if he can prove that he dropped her off somewhere. If he can only prove that he dropped her off somewhere, it might change the whole scenario. It can change everything. Oh, by the way, okay, we're going to court. Okay, he comes out with a receipt and said, hey, I went over here to the, let's just say I went over to my girlfriend's house. She can show you or prove to you that she was alive and I left. Or I took her to this woman that does abortions, and we drove to this other town. Something went wrong. I took her, but I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? To go get an abortion, and something went wrong. So that's what we all wanted to believe at the beginning. We were giving him the benefit of the doubt. Y'all need to stop giving people benefit of the doubt. If it quacks like a duck, that's what it is. It's a duck. I question everything. Just like if somebody tell a lie, I say to myself, okay, they lied about something little. That tells me they'll lie about something a lot. And I'm like, okay, well, why is this woman on the stand and she can't she remembers it was light when they got there and it was light when they left. Okay, that's a lie. But are you intentionally telling us a lie? Or are you just up there because they got you up there and not your mama up there? Or are you defending or trying to protect King? Because why would you get up there not knowing that it was dark? And then not only that, you say it was not only dark when they got there, but it was dark when they left. You can't tell me that Naziah is alive right now. You just can't tell me that. Exactly. William Perry played for the Chicago Bears. That's what Shannon looked like. She looked like William Perry. And all women gonna gain weight. She done lost some weight now. And I told somebody she looked pretty good. She looked nice. They was like, you just can't see. But anyway, you guys, that's why I'm telling you guys she's not here, because it would be in his best interest if Jarvis said, hey, look here, she's alive. I left her alive. I didn't kill her. Because you're gonna do the year. You're gonna do the year on the gun charge. And then you probably do 5 years for the sexual things with the child, maybe 10. And they may put them together. And then you're done. It's in your best interest to tell us. But it's not in your best interest if you did take her out. And he's sitting there, I ain't saying nothing. You know why he ain't saying nothing? They're not even fighting the sexual charges, you guys. They're not fighting those sexual charges. It's evident. They know. They got no grounds to fight it. That's a child. Period, point blank. You're done. You're like fried chicken on a Sunday dinner. You're done. Fried chicken, you're done. You mess with a child, it says here, you was like, suck my ding dong. She like, that's what I'm going to do. He was like, do you want it in the bud? She was like, yep, do it again. All that right there proves y'all had a sexual relationship. They're sitting there. His defense has said, you know what? We're not even talking about that because we're not fighting that. You can argue all you want what you're saying. They're not fighting that, you guys. They even said that. Jazzy says, I believe Shannon knew Naziah was pregnant and she was mad she had to put hands on her and made Jarvis do what he did to her. But I know he'll tell on Shannon. Yeah, I don't know. Shannon got 5 of his kids. Anyway, you guys, I just want you guys to know that if it don't fit, quit forcing it to fit. Carla says, I can't wait to court date. You know what? And we're in April. That's gonna be way in October. He does go back to court. I think it's in June or July, though, you guys. We'll see his face appear in court. Maybe just for like motions or something like that. But they do have a court date. I want you guys to know that. And not only that, I wonder when they went to Frog Island to search for Naziah, was it cold? Was it snowing? So maybe if they go back to Frog Island, maybe they could see something. They went back to 7 Mile and Bird and, 6 or 7 times. And that's where their whole thing is, because they're like, well, we found the jacket, we found the shoes, we found this onesie, we found some gloves. I think they said they found some gloves, some earbuds or something. All that's Naziah's. But all that stuff was in her backpack. When you're talking about some earbuds, I can't see somebody just holding them in their hand. I can see somebody literally got them in their backpack. So you got all the backpack stuff. But I don't believe man, if I had to put my money on it, she is not by 7 Mile and Bird. She's just not. That's a decoy. Lisa Calhoun says, SP Jarvis only got with a lot of these women just to get to their daughters. Once again, Jarvis is a professional groomer who never should have gotten released. You're right. You're right. I'm going to pin it up here for a minute. You are definitely right. He should have never been released. He should have had some kind of therapy going on. But anybody, like if I took something from you and you gather everybody and say, hey, and I had it in my possession, and you say, oh, we're gonna search everybody's purse. Or we're gonna search everybody's purse. First of all, I'm gonna make sure it's not in my purse. I'm gonna take it out my purse. It's not gonna be where you search, okay? What I'm gonna do is put it in somebody else's purse. Or I'm gonna go to the bathroom or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put it. I might, get something in somebody's ear and say, hey, Juju, I seen Juju with that, whatever you were looking for or something. But it's definitely not going to be where. And so some people be like, well, SP, they found the clothes because maybe she's in the river and she's just down the river. He had all day, you guys. He had the whole day on the 10th to figure out what, where, and nobody know where he was. And if they tracked back, they got him 2 hours up there at the 7 Mile and Bird. But if his phone was on all day, where else did he go that day? Because they only showing us, this is what I'm saying, you guys. He could have cut his phone off, kept it off, and went where he had to go in that car, in that blue car. And he probably, and people be like, well, he's not smart, SP. Yeah, he is. He didn't take his phone with him everywhere he went. Things got out of hand, or he figured this phone, He didn't take the phone with him when he went in and put her where he wanted to put her. He didn't take no phone. He didn't even take his car. You guys feel me? Yeah. He thinks ahead of time. When he was going to court and everything, he kept his phone all the way up until walking in that door. He put that phone behind the seat in his woman's car. That man thinks ahead. He thinking, I'm going to go in here. They're going to give me some time, but I need to get my phone calls. He was glued to that phone. He wanted his phone calls and everything. But when he got ready to go to court, he said, something in the back seat, let me get it out. Slid his phone back there. They walked in. They locked him down and whatever. And he told King to go get his phone. He thought ahead. Just get her car and tell her you got to fix the light or you got to do an oil change. And guess what she did? His fiance brought the car right up there to King, and King looked. And I'm going to tell you guys something. And if you don't know this, I'm going to say this, and it's going to make all the sense to you in the world. King was supposed to get this phone in the back seat, behind the seat. He told him exactly where it was at, in the middle. That's where he told him where it was at. King looked for the phone and said he couldn't find it. Now tell me how in the world this man couldn't take these direct orders and execute them, but he can put on a water pump on a Jag. Y'all, shut the front door. That don't even make sense. Man, you can't even walk without stumbling. You can't walk and chew bubble gum, but he told you to get the phone out the back of the car. The Tahoe. In the middle. Straight down. That's what he said. And you couldn't find the dang phone. But you want us to believe you put a water pump on a Jag. Get the heck out of here. That don't even make sense. That's all I got to say. That don't even make sense. Because when men are really in tune with their whole, what they like to do and what they like to play with, they like to tinker with the cars and put them together and take them apart. They could take that car, they could take a motor out. They up there doing oil changes and putting air in the car. But y'all can't put no water pump on, no Jag. Shut up. You ain't talking about no Hyundai. You're talking about a Jag. I just don't even believe it. I don't care how many videos you looked at. I don't even think you got the tools to do it. It's just not just the regular tools. Those tools, and I don't know what year the Jag is, but a lot of things that you do when fixing a car and things of that nature, you need metrics and stuff, Belinda said, you're right. He ain't putting no water pump on no foreign car. Nah, he ain't putting no water pump. Girl, that's like saying that he graduated from Harvard. Shut the front door. I don't think he graduated at all unless he graduated while he was in jail. See what I'm saying? Certain things just don't even add up. They went and got this water pump from the auto store, and they put this water pump on a Jag. Okay. And he said he had a guy to do it, but the guy got busy. So he just Googled it. He Googled it on the YouTube. He Googled and he went to go put it on himself. That's what he said. Psh, please. Thank you, Belinda, for the super chat. Thank you. You guys, I'm going to get off of here, but I'm going to give her a dance for her super chat because we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to make sure all of you guys know that searching for Naziah has been a troublesome case. We're still looking for just places where he could have put her. If any of you guys have anything other than like, I mean, don't text me and tell me that you're gonna do a seance or something, and you know. But I mean, if you had a dream or something, I'll take a dream before I do all of that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a notion of where she's at or something, you can leave it in my you can leave me a message, and we'll try to go over, because I do believe that we are going to go out there to Detroit. I really want to do that, even if it's just to. Sometimes I have to just see what's going on. All right, you guys, I'm finna get off of here because time is just a ticking, and it's already 2 o'clock. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.